I want you to understand that the limits that you put on yourself are only ever the limits of your mind and then the limits of your own nervous system. The world is your oyster. You can be, do, have whatever it is that you will. You are really the creator of your reality. And even though I say you are the creator of your reality, you're the creator of the vision, but it already exists. And you are, as the creator, just tapping into that creative vision, to that timeline. Because all the different timelines, all the different versions of you, everything that could possibly be yours, it already exists in the quantum field. I have a theory that most people live a life of limits in a universe of quantum possibilities. Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Rochelle Fox, and you are listening to the Mindspo podcast, and this is my I Have a Theory series. And we are up to episode 16 of 31. And this episode is being published on the 16th of January, 2026. And this date will forever be a very, very special date for me. It's a date that I'm never going to forget in my life. And I really wanted to celebrate this date with you because this is the day that Magnetic, my first ever book, my debut book, my baby, was born. Magnetic is officially 1 year old today. And to celebrate my book being 1 year old, I wanted to do a whole entire podcast episode based on one of my favorite quotes that I wrote in the book. And it is the quote that most people live a life of limits in a universe of quantum possibilities. And I'm never going to forget when I wrote that quote because it was actually after writing my whole entire chapter on quantum physics inside Magnetic. And I was really actually struggling as an author to summarize everything that I wanted to say in the word count that I was given. And you could write a whole entire book on quantum physics. This topic is just so far out there. There is just so much to talk about, so much to discuss. It is just massive. And I was trying to just put it in a little itty bitty chapter and kind of summarize everything that I was learning and knew and all the ways that my mind was being blown. And the thing about a book that's really interesting is you need to be able to write one from your heart for yourself in a way that excites you. But I truly do believe if you're writing personal development or nonfiction, you always need to be thinking about your reader. And I was thinking about you the whole entire time I was writing Magnetic. If you are listening to my podcast right here, right now, like you were who I wrote my book for. I cannot tell you how many times I visualized you, how many times I connected to your energy, how many times I got into the mind of other people when writing my book. Because although it was from my heart and it was something that was so uniquely me, it wasn't for me. It was for someone else. And I was trying to, in this chapter, after writing all about quantum physics, really sum it up in a way that was explaining everything that I had downloaded into my brain on this subject that was digestible and easy to understand and made you go, okay, that's it. And this was the quote, I truly do believe that most people live a life of limits in a universe of quantum possibilities. And I want to talk to you about what that means. Because when you really understand this quote, when you understand the essence of what I was trying to say in its wholeness, and now I'm on a podcast, I can rant and get excited with you about it because I'm not trying to put it into a certain word count or a time limit. But I really do believe when you understand the essence of those words, it will change your life. So you live in a universe of quantum possibilities. And what that means for you is that there are so many things available to you. There is everything available to you. Anything you can imagine, you can create. I want you to understand that the limits that you put on yourself are only ever the limits of your mind and then the limits of your own nervous system. The world is your oyster. You can be, do, have whatever it is that you will. You are really the creator of your reality. And even though I say you are the creator of your reality, you're the creator of the vision, but it already exists. And you are, as the creator, just tapping into that creative vision, to that timeline. Because all the different timelines, all the different versions of you, everything that could possibly be yours, it already exists in the quantum field. And there are so many infinite different scenarios, timelines, choices, life versions that you could have. And I realized when writing my book that the thing that most people were doing was that they were living a life in a universe of quantum possibilities, and that people had decided that their life had limits. And how we decide our life had limits is that we are stuck with the programming of our subconscious mind. But our subconscious mind, quite often, although it is something that can help us expand and grow and become everything that we ever dreamt of becoming, most of our subconscious minds are programmed for lack, for safety, for scarcity. They are programmed from a place of survival because our subconscious minds were programmed by our parents. And the majority of our programming that, unless you've done a lot of reprogramming work on your subconscious, if you're new to this world, your subconscious mind is at its core, most of it is programmed between the ages of 0 to 7. This is when you are in your learning how to be human years. This is when your brain is in theta and you are literally taking in everything around you. You don't have a filter. You don't have your conscious mind to decide and to reason and to disagree. So when someone says there's a big red man that comes down the chimney on Christmas Day and he leaves you presents and he eats the carrots with his reindeer, you go, oh, wow. Yeah, that must be true, because you don't have this conscious reasoning. You're just saying yes and accepting everything that you are told. And this is why the subconscious mind can feel so limited, because when we're really little, our parents weren't taught how to be professional subconscious programmers, right? It's their first time doing life as well. And what happens is a lot of the time, our subconscious is programmed with these very outdated beliefs and these very funky beliefs where someone says, oh, that's not for people like us, baby. When you're walking on a plane and you're going past business class and first class and you're walking into economy, and as a kid, you're going, oh, we're going to sit in those big seats. Wow, they look great. And then your mum goes, no, honey, that's not for people like you and me. That's not for people like us. And even though that's just a, passing comment, and maybe your parents couldn't afford business or first class, because let's be honest, not many parents out there can. And it's a privilege alone to fly economy class. But saying something as simple as that to a child can then leave their subconscious program that certain things aren't for people like them, that they're different, that they're less than. And this is how the subconscious mind becomes limited. It becomes limited by these little sayings, these experiences, these situations that we go through in childhood. And, for so many people, when their parents go out there and decide to have kids, it is from a place of love, but then it can also put parents into a place of scarcity, into a place of pressure, into a place of really having to rediscover themselves, not only as individuals, but also rediscover themselves in a relationship. And I feel like as people get older and they experience becoming parents themselves, or they're around their friends becoming parents, we can become so much more forgiving. And I'm putting in air quotes here, like the mistakes, the pain, the trauma that we feel like maybe our parents or our caregivers gave us, because we understand that raising a little tiny human, it's not an easy feat. It's something that requires a lot of love, a lot of attention, a lot of knowledge. And it's not necessarily something that anyone goes to school for. It's not like you have a school class where you go, here you go, here's the 1-year masterclass on how to raise a human. No, it's just a choice people make. So when you start to understand how limited your subconscious mind is through the patterns and the parenting and the programs that you were taught growing up, you start to realize that, wait, I am living a life of limits because I am just living a life equal to the programming of the people that programmed me. So if you are desiring to be a multimillionaire and you want to be the next Elon Musk or the next Taylor Swift on stage, or you just want to be the next big thing in whatever industry you are building a life in, if you don't have someone that taught you how to be at that level, you're not going to be programmed for that level of success. Therefore, you are going to feel like you are living in a life of limits when really, my friend, you live in a universe of quantum possibilities. And this is why I am so passionate about reprogramming the subconscious mind. It is why I wrote a whole entire book on it. It is why I constantly talk about subconscious reprogramming. It is the core of what I believe and what I know to be how to improve yourself, how to grow beyond your limits. And if you're listening to this podcast today, I truly believe it is because you are limiting yourself in some way or another, and your soul is ready to experience the quantum possibilities that are available to you. So I want to give you an exercise today to really help you tap into these quantum possibilities, because I was thinking about this concept and I realized that something I've become quite good at in my life is understanding that there are many different versions of me that exist. And I feel like in my 30 or so years of being alive, I have experienced many different versions of myself. I have existed as many different versions of myself. And the way that I've done that is really through travel. I have been a digital nomad now for 10 years, and I have lived in many different places. I have chosen for myself many different realities, and I've also rejected some reality timelines that I know were available to me and I could have chosen to go down. I'm someone that has just put myself out there. I've chosen to travel. No one has given me some golden ticket. It's not funded by anyone else. It is a choice that I have made. And you have that choice as well. I want to remind you, if this is a reality timeline that you want to experience for yourself, it is available to you. There is a timeline where you create an online business, where you become a digital nomad, where you go and do things completely differently off the mainstream. But I know that not many people have done that. And I was thinking, how can I give you that feeling that I have had, that experience that I have had, but on the podcast? So this is how you're going to do it. I want you, and you can start doing this now. You can close your eyes if it's safe to do so and you're not driving or anything, and you can start to tune into my voice, or you can just listen along and do this at a later time. But I really want you to start imagining different versions of you that exist, because it all starts in your mind's eye. It all starts in your imagination. And so many people are so limited in their own mind that they don't even allow themselves to imagine something different. And it's through that exercise, through that experience and that play of imagining, that you're going to be able to expand into the quantum world. Because as a little kid, you were so connected with your imagination. You understood that just through closing your eyes and putting your attention on something, that you could become anything you willed yourself to be. You could become a doctor or an actor or an astronaut. You knew that you could just play with these different realities. So start to do that in your mind's eye now if you can. Think about a reality that you've been starting to think about, that you're curious about, and see yourself in that reality. What would you be wearing? How would you be standing? What would your face look like? Would you be having the same makeup on as you do right now? Would it be a different hairstyle? Is your skin more glowy, more matte? Are your features more sharper or more soft? Because our face really does change depending on the reality and the timeline that we are in. What does your body feel like? Is it more alert and awake and energized? Or is it more soft, fluid, relaxed? Really start to think about the little tiny details of who you would be in this reality timeline. And when you can start doing this, what you do is you open up your field, you open up the doorway to the quantum possibilities, and you start playing in the quantum world again. Imagination is you playing in the quantum world. It is you tapping into the potentials and possibilities that exist. This is why visualization is so powerful, because your mind doesn't know the difference between what you visualize and what is actually happening in reality. Those lines are so distorted inside your mind that is how you can make the visualize become reality, because you get so close to that timeline when you just go there inside your own head. And I want you to start using this practice of playing with your imagination to play with all of the different quantum timelines that are available to you. And I want you to think of them as just outfits that you could put on inside your imagination. If you ever had Barbies as a kid, or Bratz dolls, or some kind of doll that you would play with, you know that that doll could be anything you wanted it to be. You could just simply choose an outfit, choose a fit, choose a bunch of accessories, and all of a sudden it was a Barbie doll that was working in a marine park, or it was a Barbie doll that was a mermaid, or it was Dr. Barbie, or it was Office Barbie, or it was Travel Agent Barbie. You knew that Barbie could be anything that you desired Barbie to be. And it was just because you played, you allowed your imagination to get involved. And having those different experiences with all of those different characters of Barbie, probably if it was anything like my experience with playing with dolls when I was little, I didn't play with a lot of dolls, but I did play with them enough to know that I would end up choosing one that I really liked. And for me, it was always Mermaid Barbie. My Barbies were always some kind of sea creature. I always knew that I was going to be someone that, had a lot to do with the ocean and the sea. And I feel like my digital nomad, freedom-based lifestyle has really lent into me being able to have that ocean lifestyle. Whenever I want to go to the ocean and make that a reality, I can. And it's through this imagination and this practice that you're going to start to understand, like, what is it that you actually want to do? What is it that you actually want to be? Because this is really a practice of test driving quantum possibilities. I think that so many people hold themselves back because they don't even allow themselves to imagine it. They have the limit so high in their own mind that they don't even let their mind go there in their imagination. So this is where you need to start. This is where you need to start playing, where you need to start expanding. One of the things I teach in Magnetic that can be really powerful for this is if you feel like you are really nervous or feel unsafe, or it feels really far away from you picturing a certain reality, what you can do is you can interlace your thumbs and your fingers and then take this butterfly shape, place it on your chest, and then just start tapping either side of your chest. So you're just tapping the wings of the butterfly, which is the palms of your hands on your chest. And just keep tapping those as you keep imagining. If anything makes you feel uncomfortable or like a stretch or just really distant, just tap on those butterfly wings down on your chest while you keep the visualization in your mind. And what this is going to do is the butterfly tap, it is a form of bilateral stimulation. And that really allows you to calm down, to regulate your nervous system, and to feel a sense of safety with whatever it is you are visualizing. I use this practice a lot. I love visualizing myself in situations that would really push me, that feel very uncomfortable, that feel like a big leap from where I am right here, right now, today. The more you strengthen your ability to visualize, the more you strengthen your ability to go and actualize in this 3D reality. There is a reason why all the great inventors, the great geniuses, all of the greats of the world, they talk about the 5D. They talk about visualization. They talk about meditation, journaling, or some kind of spiritual practice because it allows them to slow down their brain waves and tap into the world of quantum potential. And when we are moving so fast, when we are constantly in beta brain waves, we're constantly drinking coffee, even matcha, we are just in this go, 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 go mentality, and we're getting shit, and we're really just existing in the 3D reality where we're just in action, 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 stimulation, 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 stimulation. It can feel like, yeah, I'm doing a lot. But what you're doing is all up here, is all of this very, 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 very fast moving brainwave states. And in these fast brainwave states, in these states where we are jacked up, when we're turned on, when we're alert, we're not able to connect with our imagination. We're not able to connect with our subconscious. And we're just running off our own programming, the programming that's already there. It is when we slow down. It's when we go within. It's when we allow that time to reflect and really connect with ourselves that we're able to expand what is possible for us. But it doesn't happen in that really fast beta brainwave state. And this is why I think as well, so many people feel so limited and in this day and age. It's because we are so dysregulated that we're not even able to tap into the quantum realm. And look, I'm not going to go into conspiracy theories here, but I think the higher ups that are running the world, they prefer people being dysregulated, because when we are dysregulated, that is when we are dependent on other people. That is when we are in fear. It is not when we are self-sourced from within. And it is when you are self-sourced from within, it is when you are able to tap into your own potential that things open up for you. But the quantum realms, they will not come to you unless you are open to them. And how you get to them is by slowing things down. It's through regulation, it's through meditation, it is through visualization. These are all of the things that are so incredibly powerful. And this is actually what I am teaching this year. So I wanted to mention here, on a day that feels very, very lucky for me, on the first birthday of Magnetic, that this year, 2026, is actually the year that I am opening my first ever teacher training. If you are someone that wants to be trained in meditation, visualization, and regulation practices, if you are someone that wants to teach other people to open up their mind to the quantum possibilities that are available to them, and you want to teach them how to tap in and self-source their own love, their own safety, their own power, so that they can go out in the world and really make a difference, and you can be part of this incredible ripple effect and truly change people's lives, then I'm going to have all the details down below on how you can work with me to become a teacher of this work, to go out there and really do the work that I feel is the most important work in the world, because it is the work that allows people to connect back with themselves. Oh man, I have been on such a beautiful ride now for over 10 years of teaching people meditation, visualization, regulation practices, of sharing manifestation and all of the work that I do. I truly believe I have the best job in the world, and it has opened up so many opportunities for me. I literally live my dream lifestyle from a laptop, doing what I love, sharing about what I love, working with people that I adore, creating retreats all around the world. It is unlike anything I could have ever thought was possible for me before I reprogrammed my subconscious mind. But it is through this work of reprogramming myself and really leaning into what is possible that I've been able to tap into so many quantum possibilities for myself. And I now want to open up those quantum possibilities to other people that are ready to take the leap, that are ready really to be leaders in this world and want to make a difference and want to elevate what they are doing. I think there are so many yoga teachers out there, coaches out there, Pilates teachers out there, or people that are looking to change careers and work in wellness that are really just looking for a certification and a program that is going to set them up for success. And I have now been running Mindspo for 10 years. I'm 10 years deep in the online business realm. And I haven't just run my business online. I've run it in person. I've run over 40 retreats all around the world. And I don't just run them myself now. I have a team and facilitators. I've learned so much. I could keep going, but I'm so ready to take everything that I've learned and shortcut the learning process for the next generation of teachers and leaders that want to learn from me, that want to grow, that really want to be magnetic teachers and really want to teach other people that they have a world of quantum possibilities open to them. They just have to remove the limits of their mind. And I want to teach you how to teach other people to do that and really self-source their own power and become the creators of their reality. So if you're interested in becoming a Mindspo certified teacher, not just certified from us, we've got our certification certified from so many other bodies. This is something that I was working on last year. One of the other bodies that actually certified us is Yoga Alliance. So we are a Yoga Alliance certified school, as well as a few others. So if you want to go on a path of becoming a teacher this year and you want to learn from me and shortcut your path to success in this industry, then I'm going to have all the details down below. I wanted to announce that today because, oh my gosh, it is January 16th. If you're listening to this on January 16th, 1 year since my book came out. And I want to remind you, as I'm going to keep reminding you throughout this series and beyond, the best is yet to come for you, my friend. You are so much more powerful than you think. You need to understand your power, and how you're going to do that by tapping in to the quantum possibilities inside your imagination, by expanding what you believe is possible for you, just by starting to do that in your mind. And by doing that, you are going to begin to step into being the creator of your reality. Because, my friend, you create your own reality. You always have, you always will. So go out there and make some magic.